Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. Quick show of hands. How many iManage customers do we have in the audience today? Got a few, okay. How many know who iManage is in the audience? Okay. So iManage is a document and email management platform. It's where you can store your most sensitive and valuable assets to any legal team. Now, over time, we've been developing capabilities to help customers leverage that data, to finally get access to that data, leverage AI against that data to deliver optimized workflows. And I'm going to show you two of such workflows today, very specific workflows that we've enabled. First off, it's no surprise. AI is not necessarily simplifying work. Actually, from what we hear from many of our customers, more work is coming in the door. More work is coming in the door, longer pieces of work is happening to the legal teams, the corporate legal teams. And so we need now capabilities to help you get and process that data in quicker and easier ways. So iManage have built their first ever agent. It's a smart agent. This is not just generative AI. Generative AI was something that we all leveraged and built on in the last couple of years. We are now building agents that can perform jobs. Not only do you go to a generative AI assistant, ask a question, get an answer, paste that into an email, into a document. Now we are asking AI to start doing the jobs that are important to our organizations. And so as we move through 2026, you will see more and more agentic AI begin to appear in platforms such as iManage. And the first agent that we built was a natural language search agent. Now, many people think of search in the way that we traditionally search. We go to a text box, we ask a question, and it goes and gets us some results. And we process those results. The human starts sifting through each document, looking for the pieces of information they want to answer that question. Now you hand off the task, you ask a natural language question, it goes off to the platform, it formulates and it reasons across your question and interrogates all the documents and all the data that you have within your iManage platform. Now, many customers ask us, what kind of questions can I ask that? What kind of questions can I ask of my data? And really, it's infinitesimal in terms of the types of questions you can ask. And what we've done is help formulate a framework to help customers understand the kind of questions they can ask. We call this the who, where, when, what framework. Every question that you can ask can be broken down into these building blocks. So if we take an example that I've got up on screen, who in our group has negotiated limitation of liability clauses in technology contracts over the last 5 years? What positions did we take? And what were the outcomes? Now, as you break down that question, you can see we haven't got a who. We're not asking about any people or entities. We have got a where, because I want technology contracts. I have got a when, in the last 5 years. I don't want things that are old and 5 years old. I've got a what. I want the negotiated limitation of liability clauses, and I want the positions, and I want the outcomes. Now, increasingly, what we're able to now do is not just do who, where, when, what. We can now do then, take an action, summarize, synthesize, compare. These are all actions that we can now do with the answer that it finds to these questions. So a quick demonstration of what this looks like. So inside the iManage application, for all the millions of documents and emails that you've stored inside the platform, all the matters that you've worked on, going back and across your entire history, you can now formulate a natural language question. That exact question that I had up on screen previously is now being asked. The agent kicks in, it takes the question, and it starts interrogating the repository. It starts forming different searches and questions to find different answers. Okay? So it's reading all my contracts, it's reading all the version histories of those contracts, it's reading all my emails, it's reading all the attachments that are in those emails, and it's formulating a response to the question. Now, this can take 30, 60 seconds, depending on the size of repositories, the complexity of the question. But you'll see, it doesn't just give me a set of search results back, it starts giving me the generated response. I asked for the positions and the outcomes. And so the AI has reasoned over all the documents that it found. It's declaring what the positions and outcomes were. It's telling me which assets it identified as answering that question. And really, really crucially, it gives me those citations back to the agreements. Again, we found out very quickly that the human wanted to verify the answer. They were scared of hallucinations, and what they were doing most often was opening up the document, looking for the answers and verifying it physically. So very quickly, I can now start verifying where the answer came from, what parts of the agreement it used to generate the answer they provided. And then I can just start iterating, answering, following up questions across any of those data sets. So that's our first search agent. Now, some customers ask us, well, I could search before. What's new about this? What's different? Ultimately, we've taken a process that used to last many, many hours. The search was only the first step that you did when you were looking for an answer that was held within your documents, your agreements, your emails. Ultimately, you would formulate a query, you would run a search, you would start reading each of the documents, you would synthesize it into memory, maybe you'd copy and paste bits into an Excel spreadsheet or a document, and then you might start something like a drafting or in response. Now, with the agent, you ask the question, it goes off and does all those steps for you. It's reading the results, it's answering based on the results it's found, and then it's providing its response with the citations back to you as a user. So ultimately, you take a process that sometimes took people many, many, many hours when they're searching and sifting through these data documents, and you've now synthesized it down into a matter of seconds for it to formulate a response. So that's one of our first capabilities that we wanted to show you today. The second capability is playbooks. How, when I'm drafting a new agreement, how can I validate that the agreement that we're working on is in conformance with any barriers or any agreed terms that we have as a business? So we've built this into the core of iManage platform. I can create the playbook once. So we create the playbook. These can be personal playbooks to an individual, or they can be organizational. It will find out what's wrong. It will reason and tell me exactly what is wrong in any given agreement, whether a term or clause was missing, whether it's outside the boundaries. You know, a warranty period is extending past our standard terms and conditions. And it can then apply the fix. So inside the document, as I'm drafting that inside Microsoft Word, it will apply the fix to me as I dictate. Let's have a quick look at this in practice. There's 3 videos here. First one is, how do I build a playbook? So we've got a standard agreement inside the iManage platform. Here I can go through, I can see which playbooks I've already got access to. As today, some of these could be organizational, some of them could be individual. In here, I can now go and work on my playbook. As I go into it, you can see all the different rules that we've got set up there. We've got some required rules, some are preferred, some are optional. And it's read the document that I have selected over on the left-hand side, the escrow agreement, and it's given me prompts as to different rules that I might want to refine. I can set our fallback positions. I can use the AI to also suggest improvements to that clause, etc. All from within the iManage interface, I can build and manage these playbooks off my precedents, off my preferred agreements. So that's the first part of the process. Now the second part of the process is, how do I, when I'm drafting a new agreement, how can I play the playbook against that? And I can do that from 2 places. So inside iManage itself, as I'm looking at a document, you can see the escrow agreement on the right-hand side. I can now just go and play my playbook. I'm going to select the escrow agreement that I want to play this against. You can see the AI kicking in, a number of different capabilities. It's now working out exactly what clauses are needed and whether I'm in compliance with those. Now, I didn't speed up this video on purpose because I wanted to show you how long it takes. It takes around about 20 seconds to read that agreement, fact check it against our rulebook, our playbook, and then give me that update inside the interface. You can see here I've got one particular clause here, my governing law. We've mandated that the governing law should be England and Wales. In the escrow agreement, I've got governing law set to New York. So it's flagging that up as an issue and one that I need to remediate. Okay? Now again, what's important here is that we're always providing that citation back to the place in the agreement where the evidence is found. We can not today reduce or stop hallucinations, but we can reduce the need for the human to actually have fear and doubt about those hallucinations. Now, that's all good and well inside iManage work, but that's not necessarily where all your users work. They're inside Microsoft Word drafting that agreement, and that's when often they want to play that playbook. So inside Microsoft Word, using the iManage Work Playbook add-in, again, they can play the playbook against the escrow agreement as they're drafting. You can see the governing law has been flagged up again. Again, it's got the citations. It'll take me inside the Word document to the place in the document where it's found the issue. And then I can choose to refine the language, compare the language, and also apply that language into my drafting agreement. Okay? So here you can see us selecting the current clause. You can see our standard position that's been declared down at the bottom of the screen. And then I can simply choose to merge that position, or I can just to simply apply the standard position across that. Again, it's doing that red line for me, so it's showing me what was different to our original clause, the drafting clause, to the one that's in our preferred position. So this is all built in. The document is safe. The document lives within the iManage platform. It's being versioned and managed inside the iManage platform, but we're giving the capabilities to the end user to run and play these playbooks from within the iManage applications and from the editing tools. So it means that we remain consistent from day one. Our judgments are where it matters, which is inside the governed, trusted repository that is iManage. And we've got a complete audit trail of accountability. We can see exactly who is doing the drafting, who is applying different positions, when they're applying these playbooks. It's all held within our timelines and our audit trails. So, as I said, built into the core of the iManage platform. This date is slightly wrong. That's my team over here are going to look at me. It is actually going live next week, so it will be available to customers who are leveraging our AI capabilities from next week. And we are available to demo this at booth 503, should anyone want to see it in action. Thank you for your time. That was 15 minutes. Thank you. Bye.